Thank you so much for being interested in my work. In this video I share with you how I create skin tone glow and how I blend skin tone on Strathmore smooth paper. All the clips are in real time, taken from my full length video, which will be on Patreon soon. Be sure to watch it right through till the end so you don't miss any of the tips that I share with you. So let's dive in and take a look. Now I'm using the 9 value system like I normally do. Now you've got 4 lights, 4 darks and a mid-tone. And on the top of this, if you want to do one yourself, is to actually put 4H, 2H, H, HB, B, 2B, 4B and 8B. Right, so the paper I'll be using is Strathmore Bristol Smooth. The brand I use is Stettler Mars Lumograph up to 8B. So for the erasers then, Faber-Castell kneadable razor, we've got the Mono Zero Tombow and then the Derwent pencil eraser. For the outline I'm using the HB and just need to put a centre point in there, so I'm going to use this very small ruler, which is handy. So it's 3 inches, so that's going to be 1.5 inch. I'm working from a centre point again by 2 inch. That there, that's my centre point. And I've got a centre point in my reference image. So that's where the centre is there. Right, so we're just going to start off with that little bit here. And there's your centre point there, look. Then you've got your angles, imaginary angles. And then you've got to get these shapes right here in relation to that. So if we get these shapes in first like that, look. And that will come round about here like that. So you can put little circles like that. Look, it's got like a bit of a circle shape there, so you can put a little bit of a circle shape here. So you're just doing the shapes, and then that will come down about here. You can see, I don't know if you can see the other marks, but I can see it's a lot smaller than what I did. I think I did have the picture too big, blown up, but not to worry. That's why you get a distorted view sometimes. So I'm just going to get this shape here, get the feeling of this shape here, which is called negative space. So that needs to come around a bit more there like that. So get familiar with the shape of that first, and then you've got that there, that'll come across here like that. Then you've got that shape there, then you've got this that'll come down here like that, and then that'll come up to that sort of shape. But have a look at that shape now. Does it feel right compared to that? You know, the distance there seems to be just a little bit more that way, I think. If I just measure across the centre of that, from the centre point, yeah, just wants to come across maybe a little bit more there like that. And then you've got that there, then you've got that shape there. Look at the angle of it, you see how it comes around. And then from that centre point there, it'll shape along here like that. If you're using a projector or anything, just you know, you don't don't have to look at this, do you really? So it's only if you're interested in having a go at doing freehand. I need to keep my hand in, you see, or so I'll lose the ability to do it. It's surprising how quickly you lose the feel of it if you keep using these methods of, you know, like grids and things. And once you're happy with the position, then you can start moving things around, get it more accurate. Leave that there. Got this bit for the eye bit. So first of all, then, you view. You can't see it on screen here, but you put it above your picture. But if you view your scale and find out which one's which. So what I'm going to do is probably look at the darkest areas within that here, get those in first. So I'd say that that's more of a B. So if I get my B pencil up, you can do on this paper, because you don't get much grain with it. So all I'm going to do, look, is just get that B blocked in like this, look, just block it in. That's a little bit of a B here. That looks like, if you squint your eyes, that looks like maybe a HB. So if I get my HB and try and get that to what a HB is, but it's a lot more subtle than that, because I'm just putting a block in, because there's all sorts of changes and subtleties in that shadow. But for the moment I'm just going to put this in like that, just block it in, so you've got just try something different. Sometimes you've got to try something different. So get all your HBs in, HB. See this, that's more like a H there, so I'll swap to a H now. A H. And get those in here for a little bit. Try and get that tone in. You might have to go on over a few little bits, a few like that. And get me HB again now to talk you through this. But you see what you can do, you can go over this with a harder pencil to create different subtleties as well. So I can go over with a H to soften it, you know, so you can use your pencils then to blend. So I can go over with a H here, look like that. And if it needs to be darkened up, they say if you don't press on too much to get that value. If you can't get the value, just go up a grade. So I'm going from H now to HB, because it felt like I had to press on too much to get it to go darker. So that's a gauge for you. So you can just keep working on it. But if it don't change in value, just go up another grade. So that might be the best way of doing it. So I'm adopting to what I normally do. I'm using a HB now just to get that shade in there, but then I'm just going to feather it up with a H. So just blend it in like that, look, to feather it out. And then you can just keep putting your layers on until it gets to that shade you want. See, that needs to be a bit darker now, you see, so I'm going to put a H, but make it a little bit darker. But I want to keep that glow there, because this is about getting that glow. And to get the glow right is to get the values right. This is a bit flat at the moment, but it'll improve as you're drawing continue. So I want to get, I have to press on a bit harder there, so change up now to HB on this bit. So I'm just working on this area here to try and get that feeling. And once I've got this feeling in this area, then I can maybe focus on another area. So let's just get this hair in here. So I'm using a bead to start with. Just get that in there like that. And now I think what I'll just do is block that in. Just get a HB to start with, just block it in like this. Get a bit of a, change it up a little bit. This is 2H, just go across it like that now, cross hatch. It creates all textures and that which you can use. Just want to get that covered up like that, look, so you're getting rid of all that white. Right, then we'll focus on getting that in. 2H, you need a HB really with that. If you see, I was working with it then, but it didn't do anything. You see, it was just pencil was just going across the paper, but it wasn't changing anything. And I didn't want to press on too hard, so that's when you know you need to change up to another, well, a higher grade pencil really. There'll be a point where you can't get darker, and then you'll know when to change. Just take your time and enjoy it. Really enjoy, the feel of trying to get the values and the chroma and the glistening of it. If you have that in your mind or in your heart, in your awareness, and sense the person as well. So I'm just going to use this, just going to lift it up a little bit like that, look. So you can use this mono-zero eraser just to take a little bit out like that and put a bit more back in, just to get the texture right. Very subtle changes. Have a look in the mirror, see how that's starting to shape up. Will look a little bit, always looks a bit odd until you get everything in place. Get me 4H now and just go over this a little bit. It's just a case of just keep persevering with it really, because this needs to be darker now. So if I get me H in there, if you look at the scale of things, it's like a H. Get me H here, look. So I'm just gonna just small circles like that, look. Just create a bit of skin tone texture. I'm gonna change direction here because the skin tones change, the texture's changed more that direction. that there is like more of a it's full HB really, so let's still stick with the HB, but it's got bits of H in it. You know, it's not all one flat tone, but if I do that and create the actual feel of what I'm looking for, that's the thing, it's just varying the pressure like that. Look. Work on this little bit at the bottom here first. Got HB now, so I'm just going to put little bits of HB in here. It's a bit darker, but keep, you know, little breaks in it because there's bits of other tones in there. It's not just a flat tone. So I'm just putting a little bit of texture like this. Look, change the direction. This is a H pencil, so I'm just going over it. Places like that, just keep doing different squiggles. So all you're doing is just let go, put your mind in your heart, let go of your mind, and don't come out of yourself trying to draw every follicle. So you're actually letting your hands move with how you're feeling it. So I'm feeling my way. Just sharpened them up my pencils again, so it's a good idea to keep them sharp when you're doing details, because we've got to put that finer touch to it now then. So I'm just looking at the shadows in the hair there. If you look at the scale of things, you're looking around about 2B, aren't you? So what I'm going to do is use a 2B pencil. Look, I'm just going to put a little few dark areas in. There's a 2B I'm using here. So just getting the feel of what it feels like overall really. I think that's probably the best way to go. Then just putting them little bits of different hairs in. So what I'm doing now is just cutting into it like that in different directions. Using the side of it. Now this is, you know, it's taking more graphite off than I require, but I can always glaze over, you see, with a 2H or something, just to subtle it up later. But you know, I'm just trying to get a texture of that hair. Just get that little bit of subtlety there. And we go over them with the sort of 2H and just go over it like that. Look, just glaze it places, give it a little bit of contrast with variation. Right, so this is actually a 9H. See what you can do, see with that really bright highlight there, where it's not that bright because that's the brightest area, but you can really subtle it up with a 9H look, so you can just go over it like that. And it's surprising how it will make it look still bright, but it's softened it. The razor is cut off at the edge, so it's got a nice sharp edge again, so I'll just cut that off and then just put a few little marks in there like that, and then just use that brush just to get rid of that. It's very fine hair, you know, it's cut very short, so there's bits of scalp showing through. There's different variations of colours as well. I've gone a bit too dark really when I went over with a darker pencil. But not to worry, you can just keep softening it up, keep going backwards and forwards anyway until it shapes up. So I'm trying to just vary that. Like I say, you're seeing it really close up where I'm seeing it and it looks a lot softer, you see, off cameras, because cameras can make things look a bit different to what you're actually seeing, but which is what it is, you know. It's something I have to live with, really. That's how it is with the, you know, your video and things. You can't always get the same feel and look how the original feels. Takes as long as what a pastel would take, really, in a drawing. It's strange, but there's quite a bit of work involved in them, really, when you think of what subtleties you've got to do. It depends on what style you've got. I mean, some people just do a cross hatch, don't they, and they don't pour these subtleties in. They just, you know, it's just how it is. It's everybody's different. Right, so just got to soften this area up here. It just doesn't seem right, doesn't feel right. Sometimes it's quite a bit awkward to get the actual the blending right here, because there's all sorts of things going off. So you've just got to persevere. So what I'm doing is cutting back, taking some of that graphite out, and then I'll go over then with just use that brush just to get rid of the little bits and bobs what comes off. I think that needs to be a little bit sharper here as well, really. Just to make it, you know, noticeable there. That's improved on it a little bit anyway. I mean, you can, like I say, you can keep going and going and going with it. Just trying to get it a little bit more light. Thank you so much for watching the video right till the end. Really appreciate it. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It will mean so much to me, because this would help the channel to grow. Included all real time on this one for you. Don't normally do that. It's just a sample of what happens in Patreon if you want to try Patreon out. Obviously with the Patreon you get the whole footage. So if you're interested in seeing all real time, all audio, not only in graphite but in pastels and oils, please check out my Patreon. Link is in the description below. But in the meantime, if you want to see more of my work, please check out this video here. Take care. Bye.